Okay, so to put it in your calculator, we go to stat plot, we go into number 1, and we make sure everything is chosen. It's on, type graph, L1, L2 for your X list, Y list, and that first mark. Any questions on that one? Okay, now hit your stat button. On number 1, edit. You enter, and we're going to put in these stats. So I believe, are those my stats? Do I already have them in there? Yeah. I already put them in there earlier today. I'm not going to put them in again. But if yours is not in there, go up to L, and you got other stats in there. Like if you went up to L2 and you hit clear and then hit the down button, it would clear them out. If you need to clear them out. But put your stats in right there. I'm going to give you a minute to put your list 1, your years under list 1, and the other numbers under list 2. Where are we comparing here? This is number 10 still. We're doing it on the calculator now. We're going to see what the calculator gets for this one.
So what you're going to do is you're just going to insert 2008 right there.
Okay, now we've got to choose a window for these stats, right? So I'm going to go to my window button. Everybody go there, and I've got to decide what I'm going to use for my X min. What's the lowest X number that we put in there? The X represented the years, right? What was the lowest year? 1986 was my lowest year. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit lower in 1986. I'm going to go 1984. You could 1980 would work too if you wanted to do that. Okay. Well, your lowest stat year is 1986, so we're going to go a little bit less than that so we can see the point. Because all we're talking about how big the window is going to be. So I don't want it to be right on the line of the window. I want it to be out in the middle of the window a little bit. Okay, X max. What's my largest year? Or what year do I have to predict up to?
2008.
2008. So I'm going to do 2009 or 10. I can do 10. 2010. Well, we're going from 1984 to 2010, which is 26 tick marks if I went every 1. So I think I'm going to go every 2. So mine's already at 2. What about your Y min? What was your lowest Y value? 23.7. What was your highest? So I'm going to go a little bit lower than 23. I'm going to go maybe 22. And my largest one was how much? 37. And what year was that on? 03. And we have to go up to 08, which is 5 years later. So I need to go up maybe to 46 or so, just to be safe. Because I got to think about my prediction. Where's my prediction going to end up at, right? Because actually, the calculator, if it's outside your prediction area, it won't do it. You have to change the window. Well, sometimes it won't calculate it. It will say an error. It will give you an error. Okay, 22 to 46 is 24 units, so I'm going to go every 2 for my tick marks. So that's it. So my stat plot's turned on. My stats are in there. I have my window set. If you hit graph, you should be able to see your stats. Error? Everybody go back to your window. Check to make sure you have that same window if you have an error. You had to hit go to error and then hit window. What do you mean? What it says quit? Oh, just hit quit. Hit enter. Now, you got to check for your error. Some of you guys might have made the error in the window. Go back to your stat button and go back to edit your stats. If you put, how many of you guys put 2008 in for your year? Whoops. Look, I should only go down to 2003 and 37.6. If you put 2008, you got a Y, an X number that doesn't have a Y number. Don't do that. Did anybody do that?
Yeah.
Do not put in 2008. We're going to do that on the equation.
How do you get it?
You delete it. You go to it and delete. Hit delete. Oh, yeah, hit the delete. Okay. Got it? Now hit your graph button. Okay. After you delete it, if you have it, graph it. Now, everybody go to hit your graph button again. Who doesn't have it now? Who's still having trouble? Everybody's there? Okay. You're still having trouble? You can catch up with us. Sharon's going to teach you afterwards, so pay attention, Sharon. Okay? Okay, so we have our stats here. Now, the nice thing about the calculator, it will calculate your best fit line for you. To do that, I hit the stat button, and I go over to the calc menu. So I hit the arrow one to the right, and number 4 is linear regression. Okay, that means that's what we're doing. We're doing linear regression is the same thing as making a prediction equation, doing a best fit line. So that's the process of it. So we go to 4, and then it pastes it right here, and I have to hit enter for it to calculate it. And it calculates it for me. Notice it put y equals ax plus b, right? Put y equals ax plus b. And that's the same thing as y equals mx plus b. They use a for the slope rather than m. I don't know why. And so we can plug in what it gives us for a. They gave us 0.84131. I'm going to round it to 4 decimal places. 0.8413x. And then for y, or for the b, negative 1648. 0.275. We'll round it to 275. So I'm going to go to my calculator right here now to my y equals screen. Everybody hit your y equals screen. Type in 0.8413x. Minus 1648. 0.275. So I type in that equation, I hit graph, and it makes my best fit line for me. Now, notice it doesn't choose 2 points to draw it through like we do. It has a different method of doing it. It kind of averages the points. It tends to be a little more accurate than what we get sometimes. Not always, though. I think sometimes it's way off. Say that again. No, if you guys, the question is, can you push Zoom 6 to go to the graph? Zoom 6 would take you to a standard window, negative 10, positive 10 on the x, negative 10, positive 10. We wouldn't even see the graph if we did that, okay? All right, now we're ready to make our prediction. What do I do to make my prediction? Second trace brings up the calc menu. And I'm going to go to number 1 value. And I'm going to type in my number. What year do I want? So I'm going to go 2008. I'm going to hit enter. And I get the calculator predicts 41.05 year, or what was that? 41.05, whatever it was, percent of women are in managerial or professional positions, okay? So that was the prediction. Any questions there? Okay, so that's how you do it on the calculator. Your assignment, you guys, is to do number 8 by hand and the calculator. By hand. Then calculator. Then I would suggest you do the calculator one right now before you go home. Okay, so do the calculator one right now, then do it by hand. Got it? You need to know how to find the slope and put it in point slope form.